Something has got to happen because we can no longer go down the path that we're going down. This country won't last another 6 months. This country won't last another 12 months if something doesn't happen. So it's time to flip the switch. It's time to get involved. It's time to move the line forward. And if you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. So I don't care what flip the switch is. I don't care if that means that all of this nonsense is nonsense, or if some of it's true. All right, welcome, Warriors, World Patriots, and my fellow Americans. My name is Mike. I'm the host of Liberty Warrior. Give me liberty or give me death. When tyranny becomes law, rebellion becomes duty. Welcome to Monday evening, November 23rd, 2021. Wow, that's a good way to start the week right there for me. I'm sorry, but War Machine, you outdid yourself again, sir. Thank you so much for your hard work on that intro. I had to have something jazzed up there. I needed something to rev me up every night before we come on the show. Um, and it's a great intro. I'm sorry. I really enjoyed it. It's glad to have some good high revving music back on the show. War Machine did that in just a few days. So so glad that we got to share that with you guys tonight. Shane's going to join us here in a minute. How is your guys' week started off for you? Mine has been pretty busy, but you know what? It has turned into an amazing day. Super excited about what is ahead of us. And I did a thing today. I did a big thing today. For the first time in my life, I ordered some silver coins from Miles Franklin today. So I got an email said that they'll be shipping out in about 10 days or sooner and shipped right to my front door. So I'm pretty excited about that. I didn't buy much, but I did. It's the same link, Shane. It's the same link, but that's all right. I'll send it to you again. I didn't buy a ton. I just bought enough. Um, Made me feel comfortable. I don't have a lot of anything, but I do have a little bit of retirement that I pushed over there. Here comes the link, Shane. I don't know. It's pretty exciting. It's kind of like Christmas for me. Um, Something new. I don't know why that's not popping up. There we go. All right. There you go. Something new for me. I've never done it before, but a lot of people possess precious metals, and I wanted to be one of those people, just to make sure that no matter what happens, I still have something that can protect me and my family. Um, and they're cool. I mean, if you're going to collect something, I used to collect football cards. I used to collect baseball cards. I used to put a lot of money into that shit. I used to collect Batman action figures. I've collected all kinds of different things over the years. I've collected marbles. So why not collect coins? Some people collect all kinds of different coins. I'm just kind of focused on the silver ones for now, just to have a few of them around, play with them, look at them. So I did a thing today. That's what I did. Um, and I'm gonna order some more for my kids for Christmas. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm gonna drop a couple of those in their stockings. I know they're not listening, so I can say that. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I did today. I don't know what you guys did today or how your week is starting off, but mine was definitely fast paced today. Got a lot of stuff done, and it's like a scavenger hunt to find Liberty Warrior. We went on earlier today. I went across a couple of different YouTube channels, threw it over there on Facebook. So there's people over on Facebook following us, and it's like a scavenger hunt. Try to find us, right? Um, but if you want to make that scavenger hunt so much easier, you can sign up for our email notifications. You just send those in to libertywarriornation.com, and there is a contact link there. I know a lot of you have been doing it in the last few days, last week, sending us your emails so that when stuff like this happens, we send out a mass email to everybody and let them know here's the link to this channel that we're going to be on next. So I did also create 5, 6, and 7 today. They'll be up and running tomorrow. So I'll probably do some tests on those just to stay ahead of this game. That's what you got to do. So how's your guys' day doing? I know earlier today we started talking about the GM trial that started off today. We even tried to call in on some of those numbers and nothing worked. So just wondering how that kicked off today. If anybody's heard anything, anything's leaked out. I don't know if they'll put anything in the newspaper or on the news. I doubt you'll even see it on lamestream media. I could be wrong, but I just don't know if they'd put that on lamestream. Maybe. Maybe I'll have to jump over there and take a look, see if they put anything out on that. It'd be interesting to see if Fox or any of them put any of that out for Galena. We'll see how that all plays out in the next. Oh hell, I bet that trial probably takes well over a month, maybe a couple of months. I'm not sure. What do you think, Shane?
I think I messed with my internet. It's giving me some problems. Give me a minute.
All right. Well, would you? Well, I guess I can't ask you questions because you're sitting there messing with the internet. But I wanted to ask you
I'm sitting
what'd you
here. Go
think?
ahead.
What'd you think of the new intro?
Loved it. It's great. I think War Machine did wonderful, and the music's perfect.
Yeah, he really kicked ass on that. Absolutely. So, have you heard anything about the trial going on either, Shane? Just curious.
I have not. Haven't heard a lick out of it. Looks
Yeah,
like
me
it's
neither.
getting quicker. Just a second.
It's getting quicker. Your internet's getting quicker.
Yeah, it was lagging real bad.
Ah, gotcha. Gotcha.
My signal's growing, so it's good.
It looks good on my end. Water tastes good. Water tastes good. There you are. There you are.
I made it.
Yeah, you made it. I figured since I didn't send you an email, you would have just grabbed the old link, but that's all right. We'll just roll with it. So, nothing from GM's trial today. I haven't heard a peep. You haven't heard a peep. I don't see anything in the chat about it either. I do want to make a correction, and I should have made it immediately. I think I misspoke earlier today when I said that JD Jack Dorsey was Google. It wasn't Google, it's Twitter. I don't know why I got Google in my brain, but I couldn't get Google out of my brain. So just want to make that correction. Yeah, Twitter. But it doesn't matter because same thing happened on Twitter that happened on Google. So it's all the same crap. You were only allowed to say certain things. You're only allowed to see certain things. So it was still all censored no matter which way you want to slice it, no matter which platform you want to talk about. It was all same for me anyway. So
They're
anyway,
all buddies.
yeah, but you and I were talking about that earlier today. It seems like he stepped down a couple of times, right?
I
So
know when he
I don't know
went to.
about this news.
Yeah, I know when he went to. When he had to go sit in front of the House and the Senate. I know he had stepped down then, but I didn't know if he jumped back up or not. I don't know what happened after that. Someone wrote a book. Sorry, it caught me off guard. So,
Yeah.
but
Well, here,
anyway,
look,
yeah, I thought he had already stepped down. I knew he had sold off a bunch.
did he? Even his stocks.
Yeah, he sold off a bunch of stocks probably 8 months ago or better.
Okay. I had to put that in the chat real quick. There's a few people out there asking what channel we're on tonight. They're on Facebook and Twitch. So we're just on Liberty Warrior Nation tonight, folks. If you're looking for us on YouTube, but I mean, I think Facebook and the rest of them are about the same. Just whichever platform you choose to be on, it's all the same to me. I can see all your comments anyway. I don't put it up on the screen anymore because I don't know. It just makes everything so small. I had some people like it, some people didn't like it. Producers didn't like it, so I just said, "Screw it. We'll just go without it. It's all right." Awful quiet tonight. I was all
Do what
jacked
now?
up, ready to. I said it's awful quiet tonight. I was all jacked up, ready to go. I beat the hell out of my plastic guitar again. Stomped my foot. I'm back. I'm finally back to getting geared up and ready for the show, which makes me extremely happy being able to listen to some good music like that and just kind of get the groove on. My little guitar's been cold and missing me quite a bit, so I got to I got to play around with that a little bit tonight. So I was pretty happy, real happy to come on tonight and share that with everybody out there. And we also, just so you guys know, my mom ordered a couple of them today, but I sent all of the t-shirt orders over to Shane and off to Tara. So I think Shane's getting ready to place orders here real soon. If you guys, if you guys want to be part of that order and we're trying to get them before Christmas. We cannot guarantee that. We are trying to get them before Christmas. If we can get the order in what, Shane, in the next day or two, we have a chance at it?
Yeah, I'm going
Okay.
to try to get it in no later than Wednesday. I wanted to give everybody a couple more days,
Okay.
but I will
So there
order
you,
some extra in case,
okay.
that way we have a few in case somebody's a few days late. We can squeeze them in or try to. So I can't make any promises, but I'm going to do everything I can, guys. It's
Okay.
going to be
So
cutting
there,
it close, I promise.
yep. So there you go. You got a couple more days to place your orders. Go to libertywarriornation.com. You can go to the store link. The reason why I went in today and I was kind of like, where are all these shirts? They were all over the place. And then I called Deanna and she goes, well, if you just scroll from the left side down and hit men's apparel, that's all that's going to show up on the screen is those 4 t-shirts. And then if you hit women's, then just the women's will pop up instead of me hitting all, and it just threw everything together. So I know the other night I told everybody, oh, some of the t-shirts are on channel page 6. Well, if you're smarter than I guess the web page itself, then you'll figure out just hit men's apparel or women's apparel instead of doing like I did. So anyway, that's how you find them when you're in the store. Just click on men's apparel or women's apparel and they'll pull up. Like I said, if there's anything that's a 2X or larger is a special order for us, you will have to email us on that, and we'll get back to you on a price. Just so you know, I know there are at least a couple bucks more.
At least, yeah. That even quoted me yet. That's what scares me.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, trying to get that stuff out to you guys by Christmas, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Shane's working on some other stuff too that he'll show us when he gets it in hand. That's pretty exciting. I don't know. That's really all the updates that we have for tonight, man. We can get right after it if you like.
Wherever you want to do, man. I'm good.
Well, well, let's talk about the scavenger hunt and how exciting it is to always constantly be wondering what channel are they going to be on tonight.
Well, when we did all 3, I had all 3 monitors up so I could monitor each one of them. That way I
Yeah.
could see how many was on each one.
Yeah. Well, tonight we're just on one. We're just on the original, which is Liberty Warrior Nation. That's the channel that we're on tonight with YouTube. If you want to jump over here and join us on YouTube. Working the night shift. Well, hello, Michael Dunn. Stay safe while you're working tonight. Did you catch Mr. Pool's post today? Did you catch that, Shane? I know you watch him every now and again.
I haven't. I don't catch that a whole lot. I very seldom see it.
Yeah. Well, I said I've been out of the news for a couple of days because I've just been trying to scramble to get a few things done. And it's been pretty crazy, honestly. Fast pace, 100 mile an hour.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like I said, in between trying to keep my guys busy and then this merchandise and then talk to you every 15 minutes all day long, that burns up a day in a hurry.
Yeah, it burns up a day real quick. Here's a question that was thrown at me during the intro, and I thought it was a pretty fair question, Shane. The question was, how do we feel about adding to the drawing tomorrow with our 7 coins, our 7 silver coins? How would we feel about adding super chatters, super stickers to the pool? You know, people who've donated this month. I think it's a pretty fair question. What are your thoughts on that?
I wouldn't be against it if there's a way that you can go back and track it fairly easy.
I can go back in November. And I can see every person on every channel that has ever put a super chat in for the month or a super sticker in for the month of November. Absolutely. Tells me their full name.
Was Tara? Yeah, because we're going to need full names and addresses and
Yeah.
We're going to have all that, or you're not going to get them. I mean, that's just part of it. But
Well,
was
as soon as we pull their names out tomorrow, so the giveaway is tomorrow, folks. So anybody who has a membership on channel 2 or channel 3, your name will go in that drawing for the silver coins. We have 7 of them tomorrow that we will give out during the show. Okay, during the show, we'll do probably a couple toward the beginning, and then one in the middle or so, or a couple in the middle, and then a few of them toward the end. So you'll want to pay attention to the whole show, and we will be drawing names from any members from channel 2 or 3 for the month of November, if you're a member. And then I will go back in. It sounds like a great idea to me. Anybody who has sent us a super chat on any of the channels and for the month of November, I will go in there and pull your guys' names out and put that also in the list. So if you guys want to get in for the drawing for tomorrow, that's what the requirements are. Here's the coin that we're going to give away at the end of the night. This was donated to us by Johnny. It's a memorial coin. It's one full solid silver ounce. It's a silver eagle. It's never been circulated. 9/11 memorial coin from Ground Zero. So this one is the one we'll give away at the end of the night. And then Shane and I are donating 3, and Andy from Miles Franklin has also donated 3 for this month. So we'll be giving away 7 total. Like I said, if you're a member for this month, for the month of November on channel 2 or 3, it don't matter which channel, I will pull your names. And then anybody who has thrown us a super chat or a super sticker to help support us, I'll pull your names as well and throw your names in the hat. I think that's really a great idea, Jeff. Thank you for throwing that at me during the intro. It's a good thing I caught it, because I think it's a great idea. I've had, people throw us all kinds of super chats. So it's definitely just as important as a membership for sure. So yeah, they're beautiful coins. They're buffalo coins, right, Shane?
Yes, buffalo rounds. Yes.
So they're buffalo rounds. We got 6 buffalo rounds, and then that beautiful coin I showed you guys there. So they're all one full ounce. And I'm excited to give them away to you guys for sure. I'm excited to, hopefully make somebody's day getting one of those given to you. We'll send them to you. Make sure, man, I really hope that your membership has a first and last name on it or something. We've had a couple of them that we drew for stickers that were just Joe. And that one's a hard one to prove. So if you can change your name now. I don't know if you can or you can't, but make sure when we do call your name, you're going to have to email us. You'll have to email us your address and all that stuff so we can ship them out to you.
Yeah, I'm going to say we're going to run into a few little problems like that with no last name, especially when there's 4 or 5, 6 of them in there. It's going to be real hard to do. So,
well, I'll dive in as deep as I can to find out who the membership is, but I can only go so far in digging that up. But we'll figure it out. We'll definitely figure it out. So it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, that's probably only going to be 1 anyway. So maybe 2, I think there was, but that was it. Out of 200, pretty bad.
Rex says, I have buffalo silver rounds too. So that's, I hope you enjoy them. I can't wait to get mine. I bought a few of them today for myself. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get them, check them out.
Today was a good day to buy.
Yeah, today is definitely a good day to buy. I think, what were they around? Like $21 or $22 a piece.
$22.91 plus your premium.
Yeah, so they came out to about $25.90 a piece, $26.
$25 is what it was.
Yeah, $25, $26. You get a coin. You get to physically have it. It's not just paper. It's shipped right to your house. And I don't know. Let's play some poker, Shane.
Be a lot of fun to play with. Like playing with $25 chips at the casino.
Yeah, it's like playing with $25 chips at the casino, and I've done that many, many times. It would probably be a lot different if I used to like to keep all my silver dollars. I got a pile of silver dollars that they give me when you're at the blackjack table, or silver. Is it silver dollar or silver 50-cent piece, or maybe it's just a 50-cent piece? Anyway, I kept those all the time. I enjoyed those. Whenever you hit blackjack, they give you. I think it was a 50-cent piece or something, but
Yeah,
it
it's a
was
50
pretty
cent
cool.
piece.
Is it? I kept
They do
all
that
of them.
in several places because I can't. Like a lot of roulette tables will do that too because they ain't got half cents when you split a line with your chip. They don't got half cents. They'll give you a 50-cent piece.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know why we got on this whole talking about this stuff, but I don't know. I was excited, man. It was so this is my Christmas gift to myself, you know. Um it's I've never had any. So
Yeah, it's a new energy when you get it to your house and you finally get to play with it a little bit. It's a newfound energy.
now I've
Makes you
got
want
some
to.
gold. I've got some gold. But the gold that I have, I actually pulled out of the ground myself with me and my brother and my dad and the kids. It's not much. It's nothing to even speak of. It's not even a full ounce of gold, but it's probably at least over a half, which is worth what, probably $900 right now. And we worked our tails off for that $900. That all the hours that we put in, all the money that is that went into our operation. We lost a lot of money, but it was a lot of fun. It was more of a hobby than anything. So I got a little bit of gold, but I got to split basically a half an ounce with my brother, which not much, but yeah, pretty cool stuff. Some people were asking where we got the coins from. I there's reputable places out there, but I go with Miles Franklin. Um, Andy's been on the show several times with us. He's been more than generous to jump up here and answer questions for us. So I go through Miles Franklin, and I think if you go to the website, libertywarriornation.com, I think there's a link to Miles Franklin on the webpage. I believe. I believe there is. So, um, yeah, it's Christmas. It's Christmas early for me.
I'll tell you a neat little story. One of my family members, I'm not going to say who because it'd point him out pretty easy, but bought an old house because he likes to buy old houses and fix them up. And he bought it a couple years before he was going to move into it, so he had time to fix it up. And he left the old fireplace just because it looked neat. But the old man that passed away had told his kids, "You need to keep that house because there's a fortune buried in that house." Well, he never could find it, so he ended up buying the house for little or nothing because it's out in the country, and it only come with 2 acres, and it was run down. It was bad shape, wasn't even livable. And so they bought the place and fixed it up, and the fireplace, the whole mantle, the rock, and everything around it was full of gold, every bit of it, all the way up the back, and it's 7 foot tall in the back behind it on two sides and underneath it. And it's all that rock's plumb full of gold. So it's still there. Yeah, well, it's pretty neat. It's a good place for it. I'll just leave it there. But yeah, he chipped off some, took it in, had it tested, and sure enough, because he thought,
All
oh,
right.
it's fool's gold, but
I won't say who this is, but this was just sent to me. I'm not gonna say who it was, but check this out. This is pretty cool. I'll just try to show you on the screen. So this is a friend of ours that just purchased a silver bullet.
$45, huh?
That's pretty cool. It's solid. It's solid silver. Uh,
Mhm.
it's 1 full ounce. It's 90. It's 90. It's 99% silver. Um, yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to say, well done, well done, well done. This person collects. Showed me their collection. It was pretty neat. There was a couple of coins that they had that I thought was really neat. And I'm into the rustic, patina, banged up, corroded, um, type of antique looking stuff. I really like those old trucks that they fix up and they're kind of the paint is all faded and some parts look rusty and they just sand it down and then clear coat it. I
Mhm.
like that stuff. That is my style right there. So the crustier, the better for me. But this person had a couple of really cool coins that looked dirty. They were silver coins. I know you can clean them. I know that there's a certain process that you have to use to clean them. I'm not interested in cleaning them at all. I just keep them the way they are. But like I said, I've collected things throughout my life. If I'd have spent the money I spent on all the other stuff on something like this that has better value, but man, some of those action figures and stuff that I had could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. So, what have you collected over the years, Shane? That's a pretty cool car. Is that a 32 Ford?
No, 26 Dodge Brothers.
Really?
Mhm.
Really? That's a
Uh-huh.
pretty neat car. So what
Yeah.
have you what have you collected over your lifetime there, Shane? Anything besides just coins? The
You
car?
see it.
The
I,
car?
oh, how many you want? That one runs and drives. It drives down the road. I can drive it down the street to the lumberyard.
Holy shit.
Uh, yeah, I collect several different things. Just whatever catches my eye. Here, in the last year or so, it's been for the most part silver. But yeah, between me and my brother, we collect old cars, old ones, because they don't make them anymore. They don't make parts for them anymore.
Awesome.
So
I
we
I
collect them.
love I love the old cars. Let me say thank you to Tom real quick for the super chat. He wants his name thrown in the hat for the silver coin. Will do, sir. Will do. Your name is now in the hat. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. I'll pull that tomorrow morning, and we'll put all the names in the computer. And tomorrow evening, we will be all set and ready to go. I'm excited for tomorrow too, because I'm telling you, we're going to start tomorrow's show off with this brand new intro, which should get everybody buzzing and ready to go. And we're going to start right out the gate with the first name. I'm gonna start the show, welcome everybody, and say hello. And boom, I'm gonna pull a name. So don't miss the first few minutes of the show tomorrow because I'm gonna pull the first name out of the computer um, tomorrow evening. But so you've collected cars. Obviously, you collect silver. I've collected Batman figures. Okay, action figures. I know that sounds really weird, but I am a Batman. I am a Batman fan. It's always been, my hero as I was a kid. I love all the movies. So I was collecting the action figures from I think it was 1992 is when I first started. From the very first Batman movie with Michael Keaton. So I started collecting those for man, I collected those for probably almost 10 years. And of course, I had GI Joes when I was younger that I destroyed that were worth some money. Um, and I collected basketball cards. I had some really good Michael Jordan cards. I collected football cards. I had some really good, oh wow, some great cards, football cards. And I collected marbles and I collected scars, lots of scars, and I collected tattoos. I collected tattoos over the years. So
My older brother used to have a comic book in a toy store, and he used to collect toys. Yeah, some of the brand new ones. And the funny thing is, his first wife worked for KB Toys, and anytime a toy would come in, she was a manager. Anytime a toy would come in and be backwards in the box, or sideways, or not packaged right, or upside down, she'd set it back, and Bobby would go buy it. Well, now them things, a $4 toy is worth 400 and some dollars
Yes,
because,
I know.
and he did that for,
Collected. I
well, yeah,
collected.
he did toys and comic books and cards because he had his own store, so he traded them. So now he's got all these toys, and it was going to be for my nephew to go to college, and he decided he wasn't going to college, so he still got them. He's talking about breaking them out and selling them all. And you talk
Yeah,
about Batman stuff, Superman stuff, you name it, he's
yeah.
got.
Some of that stuff's worth a lot of money. I mean, it's really not as dumb as it sounds. Collecting certain things, and if you can hold on to them for a while, you definitely can make some money. Thank you, Rhonda, for the super chat. Her name's in the. I'm sure her name's been in before, as well. But thank you for that super chat. You'll be in the drawing. One person said I collect dust, and another person, I was laughing, said
Divorce.
I collected ex-wives.
One said I collected 2 divorces. Well, I did the same thing.
I
I
used to
should have
collect
known better after
knives.
the first
I
one.
loved knives. I collected knives for a while. Not enough, but I was into knives when I was younger.
Well, I got a bunch of knives. I got over 500 left. I'm trying to get rid of them. They're all brand new though. We sell knives with all the stuff we do, through all our shows we do. So yeah, I'm trying to get rid of them so we can get out of that market.
I like what Bill says. I collected anything of value when I was metal detecting.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty fun hobby.
Yep.
That's a real Hot Wheels. Oh man, I had Hot Wheels too. Yep.
One of
Yep.
my favorite collections I've got is my Arrowhead collection that I've collected out here in Oklahoma.
That's
I
pretty cool.
personally picked them up.
Wow.
Out of
That
the
is
ground.
awesome. That is awesome. That is really cool. One person, I remember this. I remember the Beanie Babies. Tina says collected the Beanie Babies, and I remember when I was in school, people collected those stupid Garbage Pail Kids.
Cabbage Patch
Garbage Pail.
Kids and Garbage
Yeah, but they
Pail.
had the Garbage Pail Kids. Yeah, the Cabbage Patch Kids were like a little weird for me carrying around a big doll like that. But the Garbage Pail Kids were cool, man. They had some nasty, grotesque Garbage Pail Kids. That was pretty cool though. I'm not gonna lie. Thank you, Sarah, for the super chat. I'll throw your name in the drawing. Um, just those were ugly. You're right, Nate. Those were ugly, but they were kind of cool, man. I should pull some of those up and show those photos because I thought they were pretty. Some of them were pretty outlandish, neat. Some of them were just gross. Some of them had
Never
boogers
got into that stuff.
drooling down all that. Yeah, I don't know. It's just stuff from when we were the '80s kids, man. we grew up in one of the best decades of all time in the '80s.
No cell
I
phone.
collect.
You're right.
Larry says I collect misery.
Pretty easy to do if you get on the right bandwagon.
Yeah,
Misery invites
yeah.
company. So yeah.
Hey man, just talking about some of this stuff just brings joy to me because all those great memories that we had when we were younger and when we were kids. I know people who collected skateboards. They had to have every different skateboard that came out every year. The coolest looking one. Music. Who in here? Yeah, 80s was the best. Who in here used to collect music? Because I collect Crocs. Now that's pretty cool. I collected music when I was younger. It took me a while before I really got into music. I don't think I really got into music till I was about 15. And then heck, I started hitting all those Columbia House, get 12 cassette tapes for a penny. Man, I used to buy music like crazy. 45s. Okay. Some people collected Furbies. 45s, vinyl records. Man, vinyl's coming back. And some of those original vinyls are worth a lot of money. You got an original, you got some money in your hand. So, you don't have to have silver or gold to have things of value to protect yourself. You know, you could trade that stuff. Some people might want to buy it from you. You know, if you need to sell something to feed the family. Pound puppies. I remember pound puppies too. We're all telling our ages tonight. We're all telling our ages by these comments, by what we collected. Star Trek Enterprise. How many people in the chat? I'd like to see a one for every person in the chat that used to collect the original Star Wars. Thank you, Don, for the super chat. I'll put your name in the drawing. Who used to collect Star Wars? Because that was a big deal. Even when I was a kid, it was kind of just dying off just a little bit when I was a kid. Some of my friends, older brothers or their dads had a bunch of Star Wars stuff, and I never really got into Star Wars. Do you know what age I was, Shane, when I watched Star Wars for the very first time?
Oh, you was probably 4 or 5.
24.
You kidding?
I never watched Star Wars until I was 24. I was homesick, couldn't work, was pissed off because I couldn't go to work, and the trilogy popped up on like TNT or something like that. And well, hell, I'm parking my ass on the couch anyway, and nothing to do. Might as well go ahead and watch Star Wars. So I've never seen Star Wars until I was 24, and then once I seen it, I was mad at myself because I thought, man, what did I miss out here? That was really an amazing trilogy that they put together. So then I ended up watching the other one that they came out with. It was about the same time when I watched that they were coming out with the other trilogy. But yeah, 24 years old before I finally watched Star Wars.
That's sad. That is sad.
Debbie says I still haven't watched it. Well, I don't know. I thought it was good. Oh, California raisin figurines. Now, I remember those. Yeah, my buddy Skip he messaged me, and Skip is amazing. So Skip is he's still young to me. He's a young man to me, and he spent an entire lifetime collecting old west and cowboy memorabilia. He's got guns, knives. I swear to you, he's got his gun collection that he has. I swear it's worth a lot. He he was a collector, man. He worked hard, and anytime he had all that extra money and stuff, he'd buy property and he'd buy this old west stuff. He's got his own old west town that he built on his property with all the storefronts and everything. That's pretty neat. Yes, and he's talking to me right now. He collected wagons. He's got old west wagons, really neat. He's got a super cool stagecoach that I'm hoping to use in future projects at LWN, which he's graciously said absolutely, let's do it. So yeah, he's got an amazing collection. It's my wish for Skip someday. Um, he'll have a secure enough building to where he could have like his own private little museum on his property where he could showcase a lot of this stuff, but it was safe enough that it didn't walk off, because he's got a lot of really neat stuff. I've spent a lot of time with him over the years out at his place, and just really cool the stuff that he collected. He's definitely he was born to be a cowboy with no doubt. He definitely had a calling for it.
Yeah, we collected all kinds of stuff. Anything that we thought might be of value someday, something that's old and still recoverable, we collected it, cleaned it up, stored it away, still in totes and crates, and there's a round top full. I mean, just full.
Here's
We
a
got
question. Here's a question that I want to ask everybody watching right now. I'm gonna see how big the board lights up with the number one, because this year was going to be the first year I was going to do it on Friday, and I got too busy and I couldn't do it, and I couldn't do it Saturday. I got distracted Sunday. Here we are on Monday, and I still haven't got it done, but I'm hoping maybe tomorrow or Wednesday I can do it. How many people listening to us right now have already set up their Christmas tree or at least started decorating the house? Give me a one. Give me a one in the chat if you guys have already set up your Christmas tree or at least started your decorations for Christmas. I want to see how many people. There's Tennessee Girl, there's Nikki, uh, BX. There they go. There they go. I'm hoping to join you guys here real soon. And I've never been like this. I always dislike the whole decorate for Christmas, and I never did care for it. But last year changed my life. And I found joy in Christmas for the first time in my life last year. So I'm looking forward to setting up with Noah and sharing that moment with him, and maybe my parents will come over and share it with us. And I'm hoping that my daughters. I'm gonna wait. I think I'm gonna wait. I think I'm gonna wait till close to the weekend. I'm gonna reach out to my daughters and see if they'll come down Friday and hang out with us, and maybe we'll set the tree up Saturday or something. If they don't, then I'll probably go ahead and set it up sometime this week. But how many people love Christmas? How many people love? Is that put love in the chat if that is your favorite holiday of the entire year? If Christmas is your favorite holiday, put love, just the word love in chat or a heart. I like to see how many people that's their favorite season. Mine, probably, um, probably it's either going to be 4th of July or it's going to be Memorial Day weekend. What's yours, Shane?
Summertime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not a
I
holiday.
don't care for Christmas. You know what I do like about Christmas? The family gets together. Here's why I don't like Christmas. I cannot stand Christmas. Well, for one, the music starts back in June, and that drives me nuts. I hate that crap. You can't even go to Walmart without hearing Christmas music. Pisses me off.
Well,
Anyway,
I know who's going to play Scrooge this year, folks.
but it's one of those deals. I love being around the family. But the biggest thing that made me mad when I was growing up as a kid, when I got to be an older kid, let me rephrase that, is they forgot it was a time of giving, not a time of receiving. It has become the time of give me instead of thank you and giving out gifts. And that's what pissed me off about Christmas. It's the greediest time of the year. And then people have to spend the rest of their year, the following year, paying for everything they just bought. I'll tell you, my ex-wife, she taught me a valuable lesson when I was married to her. She'd buy Christmas throughout the whole damn year, piss me off. Starting to sound like Larry the Cable Guy, huh? Everything pissing me off. But anyway, the week after Christmas, we always had to go shopping because everything's on sale. Everything. I mean, they're trying to dump this crap because it's going to be a year before they get it back in. So we started buying right after Christmas. And then by June or July, they're going, how can you all afford to buy 60, 70, 80 gifts? And, they're $30 and $40 a piece by the time you go buy them, but we're buying them for like $3 and $4 because everybody's trying to dump this crap. So we just started right after Christmas, the week after Christmas. We go out there and just start, you wait till after the first of the year because they still have, some people have Christmas around the first due to, travel schedules. But we would just start buying January. And every time we just catch them sales. Anywhere we went, we'd catch them sales. We'd always be in the sale item. And we'd always have them. We'd spend maybe $200 and have enough for 80 people, kids, nephews, great grandbabies, you name it. We always looked rich, and we weren't rich. We just looked that way.
Yeah.
So,
I know a lot of people that do exactly what you're talking about, Shane. Thank you, Moxie, for the super chat. I'll throw your name in there for tomorrow's drawing. Listen, here we go. I couldn't stand Christmas either for exactly what you're saying, Shane. It was nothing but just greed, greed, greed. And what really bugged me was being a father and seeing how Christmas affected my kids, and it was always about what do I get, what do I get, and then you spend a bunch of money on them, and then 3 days later, I'd see the gifts at the bottom of the closet, and that's why I'm not trying to sell you silver. What I'm trying to impress upon you is the value of a silver coin for your children versus the crap that I spent many a years buying my kids that only lasted a week. And like you said, Shane, most gifts I would spend was around $30 for like a goggle that they could put their phone in there and play video games, and a video game was $30 and this was $30. So what I realized last year, and I've known it my entire life, is the value of the holiday being the reason for the season, which is the birth of our Christ. And yes, you can argue the date, and I don't care. This is the time of year that we celebrate it. This is when we all get together as a family. This is when you get your time off of work for it. Okay. So that's, for me, that is the time to celebrate, regardless of what the true date is. And so last year, I fought it for so many years being a Grinch that last year I just made the conscious um, decision that I was going to change my attitude and that I was going to embrace it instead of disdaining it, because I truly disdained it. And I had a great Christmas with Noah last year. It was just him and I around the house, and then we came home for Christmas. So I was here, but for all that time building up to it, we did the Elf and the Shelf and all that kind of stuff. So what is the true meaning of Christmas, and what is the true meaning of those holidays? Because for me, it's not about the money, it's not about the gifts, it's not about all the commercialization of the holidays that they start clear back, like you said, before October. They start putting Christmas stuff out because it's all a sham. It's all about the money. It's all about them. Walmart's the worst out of them all. I used to make fun of them when they put stuff out for Christmas around Thanksgiving. Hell, now they put it out 2 months before Christmas. So it's all about the money to those facets. And so for me, it's more about paying attention to my family and spending that precious time with them, because honestly, my parents aren't going to live forever. I'm not going to live forever. My brothers aren't going to live forever. So, you know, I need to spend more time with them. And typically every year I take my kids sledding. That is one thing that I really enjoy and look forward to, is the snow here in Idaho, and taking them up and sledding down off the hill and creating those memories. So how important is the holidays to you guys? Is it are you a Grinch, or are you a, how do I want to put this? There's a Grinch and then there's a giver. Are you a Grinch, or are you a Santa? Are you a Grinch, or are you a Santa, a gifter? Because I used to be the biggest Grinch on the block, absolutely, but now I've changed. It's kind of like the movie The Grinch, right? The little girl melts his heart and changes him, and so that's who I am now. I'm now the giver. I'm now the person who tries to make it comfortable for everybody else, make it enjoyable and an experience, instead of just bitching and complaining all the time.
Well, like I said, it's not that I love being around the family. I mean, that is the best thing in the world. Hanging out, BSing, because it's a lot of times, other than on the phone, that's all I get to see them is at Christmas. So I love being around them, but it's just all and a lot of us don't have all the kids that my aunts and uncles and my parents had, us growing up. So it ain't as bad as it was with the gimme, gimme, gimme. And the kids were raised a little different, so they understand it. They was raised old school, but like I said, it still gets outrageous. I dated this little old gal, and her two kids every year would get this. They'd go make a list, and their mother and grandmother give them everything on the list.
Yep.
About the third year in, and they knew what it was. They go up and look at it. Third year in, I said, "All right, y'all go make your list." And they run in, and made their list. And a couple of days later, they just handed me the list. I said, "Okay." I didn't buy them a damn thing on that list. Not a damn thing on that list did they get. They got everything but what was on it. I wouldn't let their mother buy it either. I think I let them buy one thing on that list that they wanted each. Other than that, they didn't get nothing. They got a lot of damn toys and gifts. So the next year I said, "All right, y'all go make a list." And the stepson comes up to me and says, "F you, I ain't making no list. Y'all can just give me what you're going to because you're going to anyway." He was older and he had a mouth like his mother. So she never got on to him and I couldn't, so he had a bad mouth. But anyway, yeah, I fixed that problem of gimme around that house in a hurry.
Yeah. That's good. I like Kathy's comment here. I make cookies and candy plates for friends and family. I try every year to make cookies with my kids one time because usually it's a complete disaster mess of frosting. And it's not all the kids. It's not all the kids making the mess. It's me. I got flour everywhere, sugar everywhere. I'm an overachiever, so 1 dozen's not enough. So I got to try to make 48 dozen cookies. And Noah gets tired of decorating them after about number 2. So I'm stuck decorating 48 cookies, I enjoy doing the cookies with the kids and I enjoy the sledding. For sure. Those are the 2 things I enjoy the most about the holidays and Christmas versus all the gifts.
Yeah. Like I said, it's one of those deals. It's not I just hate seeing people go into the hole to get a few gifts when they could do it year round and I don't understand why you have to just do it once a year. If you love somebody and you want to get them something, get them a damn gift. Don't matter if it's January or July,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's what I do.
So. I remember one year, my parents didn't have a whole lot of money, and I knew Mom knew we were going to California for Christmas, and so this is a very fond memory for me. She knew we were going to California for Christmas, and they knew that they weren't going to have a lot of money for gifts. So Mom got the recipe to make Play-Doh type of stuff, and then we'd bake it. And so I made panda bears for my grandpa and my grandma for Christmas. And my grandpa's panda bear, I put a toothpick in its hand and then some fishing line coming off of it. So it looked like he was fishing because my grandpa was a big time fisherman. And I painted the panda bears and I made one for my grandma. I think I made one for my uncle too. And, my grandma kept that for a very long time, because that was something, it was something made from the heart, It wasn't the hustle and bustle and the lots and lots of money spent. That was something that we took time out of our day to make that for them. And, I remember making the panda bears. I definitely remember that.
Yeah, I still make stuff for my brothers and sisters and my mother now. I still make stuff for them. I've made everything from, I've taken a 1800s horse collar stuff with it had stuff with Italian wrapped in, leather, how they used to do it. And I'll take and clean them up, soften the leather, redo the leather, get it going, and then I'll put a mirror in it and then cinch it down on that mirror. Then you can hang it on the wall. And I've built stuff like that for them all the time.
That's cool, Shane. That's cool. That's stuff that lasts. That's a memory. And I got to address, I got to address the chat because I'm seeing all kinds of comments in the chat about, oh, I make banana nut bread and I make fresh bread and I make this and I make that. Mods, can you please put my address into chat, and anybody making bread and cookies and but I love banana nut bread, anything you guys want to ship this way, I'll take. Hey, I love to eat. I'll take it all, man. I'll take it all. They're making me hungry right now reading the stuff that they make. Listen, um, baked goods for Christmas for a gift, you can't beat that either. That's the
What is
thing.
that?
Is some
What's that one called? A fruit cake or something?
oh I upside down fruit cake.
I don't know that one. It's kind of one of those nasty gel ones, you know. Kind of looks like Jello, but it's
Yeah, when I worked
hard
at
as
this
a
one
rock.
when I worked at this one place, we had the same fruit cake for 3 years straight. The person who ended up getting it in the gift exchange, they'd keep it and bring it back for the next year. And we had the same pound cake or fruit cake or whatever the hell it was called. We had that same one for 3 years, 3 years running. And then I left. So who knows? They probably had it for longer than that. But
Yeah, those things are gross.
how
I try
about
to eat
coffee
them.
cake? Do you like coffee cake? I remember coffee cake when I was a kid. I couldn't stand it, but now I'd probably eat some coffee cake with a cup of coffee.
I quit eating sweets in
It had no
1991.
sweet. It was no sweet. It was just coffee. Gingerbread is good. I never could stand gingerbread when I was a kid. Now I love it. Um, but the coffee cake I don't think it has any frosting on it. It's just cake, plain cake.
Tell you, we started making healthy cakes. I say they're healthy, and it's simple. You take a cake mix, you put no egg, and you put no milk in it, no water, and you can make a cake that's so moist it'll last for 3 days and still be just as moist. Put your cake mix in your bowl, pour a can of Diet Coke on it, stir it up, throw it in the oven. It'll bake just like a normal cake and it'll stay moist. Do blueberry muffins like that, any of them.
Yeah.
You can use a
Well,
Sprite. It's the most
I,
moist cake you'll ever have.
I see carrot cake in there. That's one of my favorite. Carrot cakes is definitely one of my favorite.
Banana nut.
Banana bread pudding, absolutely. I could talk about this stuff all night. This food. We just got done with Thanksgiving. We're already talking about food again. Well, um, I don't know. Your choice, Shane. We can wrap it up, or I can drop the link. We can let a few people call in. Thank you, Michelle, for the super chat or super sticker. I will. I'll throw your name in the drawing for tomorrow.
Well,
We
Mike, let's
want
do
to.
this. Let's ask the chat what they want. Throw a one up there if you all want us to take calls. If not, we'll shut her down early tonight.
All right. Monkey bread is real good too. So if you guys want us to take live calls, throw a one in the chat. If you're ready to call it a night, don't put anything in the chat and we'll just go home.
There's four in
There's
a
some
row.
ones. Oh, yeah.
John H is saying yes.
Oh, I'm sure. Okay. My prediction is John H calls
Drop the
in
link, Mike.
and tells us how he built some oversized toaster to bake some um Nate, thanks for the super chat, Nate, or super sticker. Um he built some oversized toaster so that his wife could bake some, I don't know, delicious upside down cake or something. I just could tell John has a story like that. I'm
Well, and he
just
had
gonna
to break
go.
down the molecular structure of an atom of sugar to figure out if it was going to combine with the bread molecules to make sure it would have the right consistency to come out and be flat and not lumpy.
Well, he's got some good stories. There's the
I
link
know it.
if you want to
He
join us
breaks
real
down
quick.
everything. It's great. I love it.
There you go, John. If you want to come tell us a story, jump on up here.
Somebody's got to bust his balls a little bit.
I don't want to talk about food anymore. It's making me hungry. And I don't have any.
Johnny says a proper temp.
The proper temp. Well, he was talking the other night about boiling water, remember?
Oh, yeah.
There's
Double
the link
boiled.
if anybody. Yeah, there's the link if anybody wants to join us real quick. We'll take a couple of calls. No, here he comes. Good evening, John. How are you, brother? You there, John?
Well,
We hear your TV in the background.
I gotta get things situated here. Eric, can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Yep.
We can hear you, John. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's breaking up. My specialty for Christmas is salted caramel.
Ooh. Oh.
Now,
All right.
unfortunately, sometimes I don't get the pan just level, and one side of the caramel, you pour it out, and then you take a pizza cutter, and you cut it in strips and roll it up in little. But sometimes the pan tilts to one side, and you get this strip of caramel that's about 1.5 inches thick. And of course, that's substandard. I don't want that to fall into enemy hands, so I destroy it here before it ever goes out.
The incinerator, right?
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah. It's classified how it gets destroyed, but
Well, if you ever need help destroying that, you just let me know. Reach out to me. I got a incinerator here at my house too.
yeah, it's made out of fresh honey,
Ooh.
no syrup, and then it's got a pink rock salt on it. Himalayan rock salt. Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. Whoa. Time out. I think I heard somebody in the background telling you the recipe. So who does this caramel? Is it you or is it her?
I make it. She was correcting me. It's pink Himalayan salt. She could probably make it, but she's like, no, you make it. So I make it. And see, now the question about whether I'm a Grinch or a giver, I just have a holiday strategy. Thanksgiving, you talk politics, and then you don't have to buy any Christmas presents.
Make them all mad.
That's not hard for me to do around in-laws. Most of my family, with the exception of probably my little brother, we get along pretty good when it comes to politics. So that wouldn't work well for me for my immediate family, but any kind of extended family, like my brother's extended families or anything like that, I probably could make that happen pretty quick.
Yeah, well, my family's all, let's say, left of center, like way left of center. If you go really, really, really far left and go a little bit further, you're really, really, really far right. It's a big circle, and they're on the very far left spectrum. So it works great for me. I just mention Mr. T, and that's the end of Christmas gifts.
That quick, huh?
Yeah, I would like to buy the Mr. T silver coin and give everybody. But I'm not going to be down there. I live about 600 miles away, and I'm not going to be there to see the look on their face. So, it'd be kind of wasted.
Yeah, that would be kind of wasted, but they
Yeah.
get a good coin. So,
and then another quick recipe. If you guys are in a hurry, it's very similar to Shane's. Take a cake mix. You pour a can of crushed pumpkin in it, and if you like spice cake, this is the thing to do. Get you a spice cake recipe and put a can of crushed pumpkin in it. You stir it up. It's going to be real thick, and you cook it at you cook it the way the cake mix says. But you don't. There's no test to see if it's done. You put it in there, you cook it for that time, and take it out. And it'll be the best spice cake you've ever had.
all right, might have to give her a go. Thanks for sharing with us, John. You're making me hungry. You gotta stop talking about this stuff, especially the caramels. Like all I can think about is caramels and peanut brittle. That's all I'm thinking about right now.
And I've only got one more recipe.
All right. Well, one more recipe. I got an idea, but man, Tara's probably going to yell at me tomorrow if I even say it on air. But just a really cool idea I thought we could do. I'm going to say it. I'd rather beg for forgiveness than ask for permission. Wouldn't it be cool?
She can't yell very loud anyway, can she?
What? Oh, she scares me sometimes. Wouldn't it be cool if everybody sent in a cool recipe and we put it all together in an LWN cookbook? Everybody got some cool recipes.
What a great idea.
I think that'd be really cool if everybody shared a recipe. We put it all together digitally, like John. John could probably make that happen. And then we just put it into a digital cookbook and throw it on the webpage.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah. One trick about brownies, they make a brownie pan that is all edges.
Well, now we got to get a hold of Hawk.
Yeah,
and then I have
type of brownies. There's some good brownies.
And I have a brownie recipe that is it's called Tootsie Roll brownies.
Mm.
It is the world's chewiest brownie.
Well, we're gonna have to show enough get a cookbook.
Yeah, this is a horrible talking about this food. It's making me hungry. I'm ready for brownies. Well, John, appreciate you jumping up here and sharing your recipes with us. I got a couple more people I want to bring up real quick, and I'm going to give Johnny a shot at it here. So thank you so much, and I might have to hold you to some of these recipes.
Okay, we'll do it. I'm going to duck out.
Right. All right. Thank you, brother.
Yeah. I was blessed to have a grandmother, and she cooked professionally and owned restaurants. And boy, I'll tell you what, I always spent a lot of time in the kitchen with grandmother. I mean, it was like she was my protector, but she also was a great teacher. So I cooked in restaurants, and boy, when I came to Louisiana, I really soaked up some education. A whole different deal from the Midwest, and my grandmother had she cooked for the Washington Redskins training camp for a season down along the Chesapeake Bay. So she always had some great seafood recipes, but boy, she could bake. And she made when we talk about fruitcakes, I have never eaten anybody's fruitcake but my grandmother's, because she would soak them in rum for about 6 months before she put them in the tins. She'd cover them with a cheesecloth, and they'd get a little rum soaking. And I'm telling you, Miss Kaiser had a list of folks every year waiting in line to get on her list to get one of those fruitcakes. So that, that's a different deal. But when John started talking about family, uh, the coon asses, and that's what my wife is, a coon ass. She's a Bonet from her mama was a Bonet from Gaydon, Louisiana, and that's all working class folks, huh? Had two uncles. One was a barber in Lafayette. One was a barber there in Gaydon. Some of them worked offshore, working class folks. But she had an aunt, and she married well and moved to California. And the one thing I can tell you was always very interesting during the holidays when Aunt Piggy would fly in, because her ideology was total flip flop. And you want to talk about some old World War II vets that would get their hair in a dander right quick. And when they'd get to rattling that French, going back at her, because they could all speak French. And I always loved it because I knew exactly what button to push to trigger her to come in. And then I'd just sit back, enjoy a Coors Light, and watch the show.
Wow. I'm going to tell you one thing that I really loved from my grandma, my mother's mom, and then Missy. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, Missy. My grandma, my mom's mom, made the very best, in my opinion, buttermilk biscuits I've ever ate in my life. And nobody, when she died, it seemed like that recipe went with her. They were like rubbery. I could eat those things cold. The first thing, we drive all the way from Idaho to California, and the first thing I did after I came in to the house and said hello to Grandma, I went straight to the kitchen to see if there were any biscuits left on the stove. And she baked them. She baked them in an old tin pan, and I'd eat those things right out of the pan, no butter, no warming them up, just eat them raw, just like that. And no, my aunts, my mom, nobody picked up that recipe, and it kind of faded with her. And it's sad because, man, those were the best biscuits I've ever ate. And she was old school. She used pig lard and all that stuff to make
If it didn't have lard, you was not cooking. That's one thing I captured my grandmother's recipes, and I actually made a small book of just her game recipes, because you want to talk about cook a deer chili with and she was meticulous about how she cooked anything. And I sold that game book recipe in Field and Stream, and it was just like a $2 put together deal. But it made my brothers and sisters so it upset them that I was selling grandma's recipes. I said, well, did any of y'all have them? I wrote them down. Pay attention. All right, buddy. I'm glad to check in with y'all. Great show.
All right. Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Later. Bye.
All right. Hello, Missy. How are you?
I'm good. I must have killed my mic as well when I tried killing my camera, but
What's on your mind tonight?
well, you guys got me hungry with all this food.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry. That was probably a very huge mistake on my part, and I will take full responsibility for it.
I'll make you some of my banana nut bread though.
Oh, man. Oh, I love banana nut bread.
Send it your way. That's one of my favorites. And growing up, my dad is the middle child of 15. And I have 52 first cousins.
Oh, yeah.
And that doesn't count their spouses that I've known my entire life. That are just as much of a cousin to me as my actual cousins are. And every Christmas though, one of my aunts had 13 children and 50 of her own grandchildren. So she always wanted to make sure there was, just little trinkets for the kids. So my aunts would go to the dollar store and stuff like that and just get, so little girls would get some barrettes and bracelets, but Santa would come and give every kid a bag with their name on it. And so that was always just really special. I remember growing up. I mean, it didn't have to be much. It was just you know, bracelets, but Santa knew who we were. So we felt
Yeah.
really important then. And of course, then you could also go from table to table eating every time. We had a summer picnic where we rented a park pavilion, and every kid of my dad and his siblings would get a table. And so you just go from table to table visiting and eating and
That
everything. That
sounds
was
like a
just,
wonderful time.
it was. It really was. And it was just a great time. And I just asked my mom last week or week before last. I was talking to her because my birthday was last week, right day before Thanksgiving.
Oh boy.
Sometimes it's on Thanksgiving or right around Thanksgiving. Next year it will be on Thanksgiving. So
Well,
we
that's
just
pretty neat.
did an early Thanksgiving with my son and my parents and I had pecan pie for birthday cake. So I asked my mom, I said, when was the year I was born? When was it around Thanksgiving? And she said, you were born on Monday night. The doctor came in Thursday morning and asked if was going to cook a big meal and everything. And he said, I was sure if I said yes, that he would have kept us in the hospital another day. But because we went over to my aunt's house, she said, nope, I'm going over. And the only time I'm going to hold that baby is when she's hungry. So we just walked right into my aunt's house where we always went for Thanksgiving. And there was always a baby to be held that was being passed around. So that's just how it goes.
Yep. My
I'm number.
mom my mom is one of 12, and
Mhm.
my dad's father was one of, I think, 12 as well. So
Oh,
on,
wow.
on both my mom and my dad's side, I got so many cousins. I got cousins I haven't even met. So
Yeah,
many of them.
see, you have more cousins than I do because on my dad's family, I have all this dad's side, I have all this family, and my mom's side, I have one aunt, one uncle. They both got married, neither of have had children. So it was just me and my brother on that
Yep.
side. And
Yep.
I could call my grandmother who lived in Atlanta. I could call her and say, "Hi, grandmother, how are you doing?" And it'd be like, "Who is this?" Um, hmm. Wild guess, the only female voice that would call you grandmother. Whereas I could call my other grandmother up here, and we all ended up calling her honey because she said goodbye to my oldest cousin by saying bye honey, and he said bye honey back to her, and it stuck.
Yeah.
And when so I could call her and say hi honey, how you doing, and she knew who it was right away. And she would always ask, how my other grandparents were doing and everything. And just lots of good memories growing up.
Yep. Absolutely.
Unfortunately, my son doesn't have as much family, but we would go to some gatherings and he's like, so who here are we related to? And I said,
Everybody.
everybody. And it turns out he just started high school in the fall, and my cousin's daughter is in his grade. And this is the first time he's ever been in school with
Wow.
a relative. So I think that's pretty cool that it's one of my cousins that, I'm close to. There are some cousins I'd be talking to and it'd be like, "Hey, Missy, how you doing?" "Good, good. How are you? How's the family?" "Yeah, good, good." I'd go over to my mom and be like, "Who was I just talking to?" And she'd say, "That's one of Anita's." I said, "I got that far. I just don't know which one of the 13 it was."
Yeah. Yep.
So
There you go. That's I've been in those
yeah,
situations for sure where you got
you
so many
understand
family
that.
members. Yeah, oh, absolutely. Let's welcome Nancy. How are you this evening, Nancy? You Nancy? I don't know. She's there. I see you. I can hear you, Nancy.
I hate everybody. You guys are making everybody hungry.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure we are. How are you tonight?
But
Oh,
Oh,
all right. Well, it was nice seeing you, Nancy. That was a quick one. That's all right.
I've got one recipe before I go.
All right. Give us your recipe.
Okay. You get a chocolate cake mix, make it in a sheet cake, and then you take like the end of a wooden spoon, the skinny end of a wooden spoon, and you poke a bunch of holes in it. And while it's still warm, you poke the holes and you get some ice cream topping that's liquid, like Milky Way caramel. And you pour that all in there, and then you cover it with Cool Whip.
Lord help me.
And of course, by poking holes in it, you take away some of the calories by doing that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's
Sure,
healthy.
I'll buy that. I'll buy that. I'll buy that for a couple bucks. All right.
Okay, sure.
Well, that is a great sounding cake. So thank you for sharing that with us, Missy.
All right. Have a good night.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, it's Brother Hawk. How are you doing this evening, brother? Can't hear you. You're muted. Something up with your mic there. Still can't hear you. There we go. It's called Yum Yum Cake. Yeah, it's called something Yum Yum. There you are. I can hear you.
Yeah, I forgot to restream here. The different settings than what my StreamYard uses.
Correct.
So.
How you been, brother? Busy? How are the puppies doing? They don't look like they're behind you anymore. So
no,
are they outside now?
No, they're in the kitchen building.
Okay.
I have a building about 20 feet that way. That's about the same size as this office here. It's my kitchen. And then we have another building. It's about half the size on the other side of that. And then Jess, I've gotten another 14 by 20 that's up in about 30 feet up the backside there. So yeah, we have a bunch of small buildings that we use, and then we have a porta-john right in the middle of all of them. So we can't put a bathroom out here.
They're probably getting pretty big though, right? They're probably getting into everything by now.
Yeah, they've been on all the streams. They're 8 weeks now, so now they get to go bye.
There you go.
which will be a blessing. But Kuve, who just got up and walked away, she's doing about 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. So I think she's probably going to hold out for Christmas Eve.
Oh,
so
really?
We may be having Christmas puppies.
That would be totally cool.
Yeah, her sister had to go and have puppies on Easter, so her sister's got to do one better than her. So up here she comes now. Yeah, but she
heard you talking about her.
Yeah, she knows her name. She's like, she wants to tell these other dogs, get off these beds. This is my bed. But yeah, she's starting to hang down now, filling up with milk and all that other good stuff, and so it's going to be a project. But
So
yeah,
how are you? What have you been up to? Did you get everything back up and running on your property there? And
well, we've got all 5 of the greenhouses are operating. The electrician who's been coming out, he's waiting on. So the panels that we have on the greenhouses are one type of panel, while the panels that are in our buildings are different types of panels. Siemens, I think it's called Siemens or Simons panels. And he's trying to have everything on the same so that we have interchangeable breakers and all that other good stuff.
Smart.
So he's but this bit is it's a busy time of the year for him because, you know, again, we weren't the only ones affected by that storm. So they've been out trying to, you know, fix everybody that they can. So we're probably 70% into the work, and I'd say at least 65% completed. And it's going to be, you know, it's going to be some more work, you know, no doubt about it. And protecting against further further problems. You know, getting a generator in here is going to be the biggest thing. Getting that in line, so if the power goes out, boom, that automatically kicks in. And you know, it's so many companies that we've been talking to about trying to get a generator through. It's like, oh well, you know, it's you got to understand with the shipping right now, and with this with everything going on, you know, we have no idea how long it'll take. You know, so it just makes it frustrating. Because
so I used to sell Generac. I used to be a distributor of Generac. I still have friends in Generac. So typically, a decent size house generator, probably not what you want. You probably want something bigger, but I think they were going around $5 or $6 grand.
yeah, it's the one we're looking at is about 8.
Yeah, and so if you're needing 3-phase for the farm, that puts you in a whole nother category.
Yep, exactly. That's the biggest worry. You know, because of the fact that you know, it's almost like well, should I just go ahead and get 2 smaller generators? You know, have one that's over by the greenhouses and then a separate one that's over here by the buildings. You know, so the buildings, you know, because we got all our food is in the next building over. Our cooking, all our cooking ability is there. And then the next building is our dry and cure area, where the medicine goes after we get done trimming, where it's got to, you know, go through the cure process, because you know, so many of these people are out and they're producing this stuff, but they're not producing it properly. They're not doing what they need to do in order to make sure that it's at 100% medicinal value. And to me, it's almost like a waste of time, you know, for me to even deal with them, because of the fact that you know, it's they'll call me up and they'll say, hey, you know, I got such and such amount. I need enough RSO for 2 patients for 90 days, you know, and when you're looking at that amount, you're looking at least, you know, a couple of pounds, you know, and, you know, and I'm like, has it been dried and cured properly? You know, and I ask them what they do for their curing process. And if they haven't done it, then we're better off just giving them what we've been producing instead of taking what they have and bringing it in to produce it for them, because medicinal value is going to be depleted by at least 40 to 45%. And, you know, the idea of it is if you're going to use this to fight, you know, any type of cancer or seizures and such, it's got to be finished properly. You know, medicinal level is a medicinal level, period. You know, what these guys do for recreation is, you know, as quickly as it's done, they dry it as quickly as they can, and boom, they get it into the dispensaries as quickly as possible. They want it, for them, it's just mass production continuously. With us, it's we're trying to we're trying to set the tone for every state that develops a medical program, and have guidelines that these people can follow to best take care of their patients. I see, I get a lot of older people, people in the 60s, 70s, 80s, who ask me about, about Rick Simpson's oil, what it's capable of doing for them. First thing I do is I tell them to go watch the movie Run from the Cure. That's the first thing that I tell people. Go watch the movie Run from the Cure. It's the story of Rick Simpson, how he found the recipe, and the recipe is in the Bible. Just so you know. And it was developed years ago for, in order to take care of things such as consumption. I don't, that's a word that most people don't hear too much anymore, but it was a lung disease, from the 1700s and 1800s, and they called it consumption. Very much kind of like pneumonia, or the after effects of pneumonia. The damage that pneumonia can do to your lungs is a long-term effect. So these older people contact me, and they're, well, I don't, I need to make sure that I get something that's not going to get me high, and that's pretty much the biggest thing. So if these people are just producing whatever the heck they want, and then trying to push it into these elderly people's hand, they're going to end up scaring them away from using the product, because they're going to do their first dosage, and they're going to be so flipping high that they're going to think that they're teenagers, and reliving the 60s and 70s again. No, that's not what we want. It's the idea of doing what we can, and doing it right, and setting a precedence that carries on from state to state. There's a lot of good producers out there. There's a lot of really kind growers and farmers, whatever you want to call them, that are providing for patients, especially at this time where literally nobody's got money. Nobody's got money. Half of the state is out of work. The other half is worried about whether they're going to be put into work. They're trying to push vaccine mandates or vaccine passports here in Oregon now.
We don't want to use
sorry.
that word.
Sorry.
That'll get me taken down real quick.
Sorry.
With these guys.
But I just got a thing from the Convention of States today, telling me that they need my input about it, and I'm like, obviously, don't you think that it would be no? That that's not something that our state needs, or whatever. And I see the questions coming up in the chat there. Phyllis, I wish I could, but if you don't live in the state of Oregon, no, I can't. It's there's still federal laws that prohibit transporting over state lines and such. Correct. So if you live in Oregon, however, if you live in a state that has medical, I have a list of growers that produce for patients in each state, that has a medical program, and I can get you in contact with them, and they pretty much follow the same processes that we use. And cleanliness, cleanliness is a huge thing where it comes to this. The plants need to be pesticide free, miticide free, fungicide free. Those are all things that can have long-term effects on the human body. And you can't get enough people to stay away from them. They're like, well, I got to get my crop down. Not like that. You don't. Not like that. You don't. That's one of the reasons that we do most of our stuff in greenhouse, is because we have less chance that the farmers next door who are spraying their corn crops or their grass seed or whatever they're growing that year, they're out there spraying Roundup and everything else, and I don't want that stuff anywhere near anything that would go to a patient.
That's probably not real healthy for them. So did you hear that we were talking about some recipes, Hawk? So I'm going to ask you the question.
Okay.
Do you do anything with your cannabis, like make any kind of edibles with that? Do you have a recipe that you really enjoy, or do you just do it for your own personal use?
I actually make medicated coffee.
Oh, really? Okay. Yep,
Yeah.
I've had some. I've
It's
had some before.
and the reason that I do that is because I mean I take a dosage of RSO in the mornings because I do have seizures. And when I'm not when I don't have my RSO, it can be anywhere between 2 to 13 seizures a day. And that rocks the brain. Let me tell you, you don't have the energy the next day to even get up to medicate. It can be extremely debilitating. So I have to make sure that I'm producing enough for up to a 90 to 120 day period to make sure that I keep a where is it? I got one here on my desk somewhere. Yeah, I actually have a couple of brownie mixes and things like that I'll periodically make. But it's
Okay.
not something that I do on a regular because of the fact that most of the people who come around me, like during the holidays and things like that, they're not really into I guess what you'd call the cannabis scene. And giving them this oil that I have here, this would be a little bit. This is for somebody who's never used cannabis before. One little line the size of a grain of rice would you'd be high for about 36 to 48 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah, and it goes in waves, so you have to be really careful. But the brownies that I make with I do make can of butter, so
Yeah.
we have a machine here to make butter with. I will periodically. I also make salve.
Yeah.
I use this whole dang jar already.
The salve is really good. I got some of the salve. I gave it to my mom. Friends sent it to us, and man, I tell you what, it helped her out. It helped her out quite a bit. I don't know if she's still using it, but she was using it on the bottom of her feet.
Yeah, it's does she have neuropathy?
She was using it because she had swollen feet due to the sickness and some
Okay.
after effects of it, and probably a little bit of zinc poisoning on top of it.
Oh boy,
So
that's not good.
She was not doing well.
So people who develop or have neuropathy, I highly recommend using salve on the bottom of your feet. That's other than there's 3 thin layers on your body, and the bottoms of your feet is one of them. And the absorption rate to get to the nerve endings that are necessary in order to cut back on the pain from the neuropathy is best way is through your feet. And I try to tell people that, and that's I think the largest group that are affected by that are people with diabetes. It's between the diabetes and the insulin that you're using. Neuropathy can tend to appear generally within 4 to 6 years. You start getting the tingling in your feet and in your hands, kind of like pins and needles type action. Yeah, so that's a crazy one. Zinc though, that's zinc is a tough one to fart around with because of the fact that there's good purposes for it, but there are alternates that aren't so good for it. And monitoring that is a pain. I know it's
Well, what
know,
happened? What
but I'm
happened
glad
is
that she's
mom.
doing better.
Yeah, mom had the sickness. Mom had the sickness, and so dad was trying to pump her up with some with vitamins. Zinc was one of the big ones, and
Did she
I
overdose on
think
zinc?
I think they overdosed her a little bit on the zinc, and so dad started reading and found out that drinking milk helped extract the zinc out of your body.
Yes. Yeah. I was
So, and
just gonna say that milk,
yep,
or milkshakes.
yep,
Make
yep.
make her a milkshake a day, for about a week, and that should it should actually show some consistency. Another alternative is, you know, that protein stuff that bodybuilders use,
Yeah.
that powder stuff. You
Mhm.
can use that as well. That will also help to reduce zinc because it helps to burn things out of the body. You know, most older people aren't really necessarily looking at putting on bulk muscle or anything like that, you know. So,
At least I hope they're not. I mean,
yeah, at least we hope.
that's a. I used to weight lift quite a bit, and I put on a lot of muscle, a lot of pounds, and that's a lot to have to pack around.
Yep.
That'll wear you out. Go ahead, Shane.
Hey, Mike, we're going to probably have to land this pretty quick. I got a call coming in that we need to be on. I hate to do that
Okay.
to you, but we need to be on it. So,
All right. Well, let's welcome Ron real quick to the show. How you doing, Ron?
I'm doing pretty good. I wanted to get on here and ask Hawk a question.
Oh,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, I want to find out does the CBDs that people are using, do those show up on VA blood tests?
okay, so it can yes, CBDs can show up on blood tests. Generally, most of the people that I know that are still going to the VA, trust me, most of them are not. Most of them are getting private doctors now and don't want to deal with anything to do with the VA whatsoever. One of the things that Trump was working on was a VA medical marijuana program. And the objective was going to be to have veterans throughout the country that are farmers actually produce the medicine for the VA directly. Pretty much the same way that a recreational grower, produces for a dispensary, local dispensaries and such. And the VA would be responsible to make sure that it's distributed to the patients. So my hope is that he ends up back in office and can actually finish that objective. Because number one, it would put a lot of vets to work. And number two, it would really help a lot of vets, knowing that it would be a free medicine, no different than any other medicine that the VA sends you every 90 days.
Yeah.
But what I recommend is if you have been using CBD and you're going into the VA, bring the package with you.
Okay.
So if you've been doing CBD oil,
I haven't been on it since the 70s. Okay.
Yeah.
But I spent like 10 years on painkillers because I suffered a severe concussion and I have migraines and I've got I've had my neck operated on several times because I broke it at the same time and my back's all screwed up and my hip is screwed up and I'm a wreck. I was thinking that was the way it was, but I wasn't sure. I wanted to find out from you since things have gotten different since I used to, partake in it.
Yep.
And
here's another question, but you probably can't really answer it, Hawk, because it totally depends on the employer. But can you be fired if it shows up in your blood?
If you can prove that it is CBD, that would be a great that would actually be a great court case to understand that hemp and CBD is legal in the United States, coast to coast, all 50 states, without question. Are
you sure about that though, Hawk? Are CBD?
All 50 states are CBD approved, and
when did that happen? When
Trump
did that
signed
happen?
It his first year.
Because in Idaho, it's still not legal.
Yep, hemp and CBD should be 100% legal in the state of Idaho. That basically means 0.03% THC or less. That means less than a third of a single percent.
Okay, because they don't have any dispensaries here or nothing.
No, it would actually be sold at like your health food stores.
Okay.
All right. Or even I think it's a GNC. I think
Okay.
think it's called.
All right.
Places like that would have it. And hemp oil has been, has been produced and shipped into the United States via Canada for the last 26 years, 27 years. This is the first time that people in America have the opportunity to be able to grow their own hemp. And the thing is it's legal to grow hemp in all 50 states.
You
So
guys y'all just educated me. Even the people in the chat are telling me yes, it is. I didn't know that. I have some CBD oil and or coffee, and I have some CBD salve for my mom and stuff. And I was always worried about that if I got pulled over
give it
with
to
it or
them
some. Yeah.
Oh yeah, or you give it to your parents, and they go to their doctors, and their doctors are freaking out because they end up with, they have CBD in their system, and it's like it goes against everything on the insurance policies and everything else. It all boils down to a bunch of BS, honestly. If they hadn't stolen this plant from us back in 1928, and that's when it began, was in 1928. Henry Ford developed a motor that was capable of producing 23 miles to the gallon using hemp biofuel. 23 miles to gallon. You think about that. That's back in 1928. Imagine if they had done the research on hemp biofuel that they did on black oil. Okay. How advanced cars would be today. You'd be getting 120 to 160 miles to the gallon on fuel in your motors today if they had continued that research that Henry Ford was doing back then.
Yep. No money in that.
Hey, Hawk.
Yep.
Hey, Hawk.
Yeah.
The reason why hemp was kicked off the market is on account of Rockefeller got his cohorts together, and they determined, since he was ruling the medical industry at the time of his inception, to make all home remedies quackery.
Well,
and he was also in control of the
there
oil.
are actually 5 industries. So you've got he built the car, the automobile that was actually released to the public in 1931. Okay.
Yeah.
That was built entirely from hemp. Okay.
Yeah.
Now they did 17 crash tests with a steel automobile alongside a hemp automobile, or a hemp bodied automobile. The steel crushed, and the hemp mobile basically bounced off.
Yeah.
No damage whatsoever. And then the industrial process for building the motors to burn that hemp oil was actually cheaper than one to produce for burning ethanol, gasoline, whatever you want to call it. So you had the steel manufacturers, you had the auto manufacturers, you had the pharmaceutical, which was really just getting its uptick. Okay. At the same time, you had the farming industry. You had all these grain companies that were attempting to, because you could feed your livestock, you could feed your dogs, you could feed your cats hemp, So, but,
nope, it's dinner time again.
Yeah, it's supper time again. Exactly. Chicken and French fries.
Go ahead, Shane.
I was just gonna say, I read about them hemp cars. The only problem I'd seen with them hemp cars is if one of them things caught on fire downtown, that could get a lot of people in trouble, couldn't it?
No, because it's made from hemp. It's not made from cannabis. So the marijuana side of cannabis is where your THC values are. Hemp is is non. You won't get high from hemp. You'll get a headache if you smoke too much of it. You'll get a headache if you smoke too much of it.
I know the Europeans used to make rope out of it. Now I knew they used to make burlap bags out of it and stuff like that. So a lot of their clothing was made out of it.
Well, all the sales for the ships, the shipping industry. That's King George before the Revolutionary War, it was mandatory. Anybody with more than an acre, if you had 2 acres, you needed to grow an acre of hemp, and that was given to to the local shipping areas in order to produce to make their ropes or to make their sails. And then but if you had 10 acres, 1/3 of your fields had to be hemp. It was mandatory. That was, basically it was no different than a tax, but it was just done as a product instead of, but back then people were glad to do it because they wanted the ships coming in from England with all the goods and everything that they needed, up until the point that they were able to develop and build this stuff for themselves. So,
well, gentlemen, I got to bounce off of here and take a phone call. So,
all right, brother.
Thanks for jumping up here and sharing that with us.
Absolutely. It was good to see you guys.
Yeah. Thanks for the questions, busy. Ron.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll talk to you guys later.
Have a great night. Go get that phone call. Shane's itching for that one. So go have fun.
All right, guys.
All right.
Enjoy your meal. Bye.
I will. Thanks.
All right. Well, always informative when Hawk joins us. He's got a world of knowledge. He knows his stuff inside and out. So I'm glad he had a few minutes to join us. I think it's that time. Noah's got to get his butt to bed. I got to get after that too, and the phone call. So I'm going to be pressed for time here. But anyway, thanks for joining us this evening. Check us out, libertywarriornation.com. You can sign up for our email notifications. We have our store link there too. You check out our merchandise, and we also have a prayer request on the more button that you can send us in prayer requests or praise reports. If you want to be part of the drawing tomorrow for the 7 silver coins, the 7 1-ounce silver coins, you're either going to have to be a member on either channel 2 or 3. It don't matter as long as you are a member. You got a little bit time left to become one, or you can drop a super chat real quick. We'll take super chats too. And you throw a super chat in real quick and we'll throw your name in the hat for one of those coins. So anything else, Shane?
Not that I can think of, Mike.
All right. Well, I know the one thing I won't do tonight, and that's play the ending video. Oh, we'll come up with a new one. War Machine's already on it. He's already thinking about it. So we'll have a new ending. I could play the beginning again real quick, but then Tracy probably want to beat me because that's 10 minutes long. I don't want to keep her for 10 minutes. So I'll just go solo and just kill it. So anyway, it was a fun night talking about a lot of great memories and good food. And then having Hawk come in here and educate us on some of the products that he deals with. So, Tracy says, no. All right. I won't, Tracy. I won't. I'll just kill it. I got to go do this phone call anyway. So love y'all. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 8 Eastern, 7 Central.
6 Mountain.
All right. Love y'all. Have a great night.